Hi, you guys. I wanted to share something with you, a couple of things with you, especially for you new moms. I wanted to kind of tell you guys a couple of things that might help you out, things that I wish I would have known about before I had Bella. Or matter of fact, maybe the first year of her life, I wish I would have known these things. So I'm going to try to help you guys out with a couple of things that I would suggest. One of the things that I would suggest is that something that I remember that I did that I wish I would have never done, which is kind of embarrassing now, is bringing the stroller inside of Walmart or Target. Bella's dad and I, we used to, I mean, we didn't know a thing about being parents, of course, like everybody else, I'm sure. So we would bring the stroller inside, and then we would also bring this big old diaper bag and my big purse, and we would have like a shopping cart, and we would go through Target shopping for things for the house. I mean, there's people looking at us like we were aliens, and I could kind of understand that. Why. So that might be something that you might not want to do. You want to just use your car seat and put it on top of, on that one little part where you usually put the kids in and strap them in. So you basically will strap the car seat onto that shopping cart and then go about your business. Okay, another thing that I wish I would have done, second tip I would give is, I didn't figure this out till later, is instead of bringing a diaper bag and a purse, I ended up just taking, minimizing what I had and making sure I brought the main things with me. So I would bring somewhat of a medium size to large size purse, and I would try to fit things in there. So of course I would put her baby wipes in a little baggie, you know, of course, maybe 3 diapers, and then package her formula in some way so that if she needed to eat at least 2 times while I knew I was going to be out, then I would make sure I would calculate that, and maybe one more just in case. So that was one thing that I finally learned later on, is to basically simplify my life by just carrying one thing instead of the big purse and the big diaper bag in the stroller, in the carrier. I mean, you can see me coming. I was struggling. I was seriously struggling. Okay. Another thing that I would suggest, something that helped me out a whole lot. One thing that I used to do was when Bella wasn't able to walk yet, I ended up always leaving like a playpen in the back of the car. Okay, some people are like, well, I probably need that playpen in the house and blah, blah, blah. Well, I didn't usually use the playpen in the house. Every once in a while I would, but I usually use those little kids' gates or whatever to like put in the doorway, especially in her room, so that she would stay in that room because I knew that it was safe. So I would usually use that in the house and then take the playpen and leave it in the car, because say for instance you want to just have some parent time, like some mommy time, and go over to a friend or your parents' house or somebody's house and sit down and have a conversation without trying to chase your little bitty one throughout the house. And it works. Oh my gosh, it works. It helps out a whole lot, especially if they're not able to like really get around or climb their little leg over the playpen. That's scary. Okay, and then another thing that I used was, I also kept this in the back of my car, was I would have toys in like a bag. Usually I would put it in like a comforter bag. I know this sounds kind of ghetto, but it actually works. I mean, you can use some other like a backpack or something like that, which is fine. You can actually put the toys in the bag and keep it in the backpack. That way, if you're over at a family's house, this is something that would basically keep your child busy while you're talking or having your free time or whatever case it might be. You want to be able to have something there to keep your child active. Of course, you're going to be interacting with the kid too, but just to make sure they're not running around bloody murder through the whole house. And we all know about that, okay? And then make sure that you carry extra clothes and all those things. I think you guys pretty much know that. What's another thing that I wish I would have known? Something that I said on the last video is, you want to make sure, I know during this time, it could be so hectic, like with the children, screaming and crawling around and destroying the house, and all those different things are happening. But the thing that you want to remember is that you want to make sure you cherish every last moment that you have with these kids while they're little. These are your children, and since the first year of their life is going to be such a short year, it's going to go by so fast, and you're going to wonder, where did the time go? You were this little bitty thing that just, that just came out of me, and now all of a sudden you're actually talking to me. You have a personality, and it's like, where did the time go? So make sure that whatever you're doing, make sure you remove yourself from phones and TVs and things like that, and make sure that you have that quality time always with your children. Some people are like, well, we do that anyways. No, seriously, you need to make sure that you have that time, that quality time with your kid for the first 2 years, because it is so important. I sit here and I think about some of the times when, especially when I look at my daughter while she's asleep, I'll get flashbacks of the day that I had her, and the time that she would smile, and when she laughed for the first time, and when she walked for the first time, and how she was so little, and how I used to carry her and she used to smile at me, all those things. And it's been so long since I've had that experience. And during that time, like I said, I'm saying this from experience, I was in school, and so I was pretty much trying to hurry up and run through the day by going to work, going to school, take care of my child and things like that, and then just hit the ground running because I had to cook and clean and do all these different things. And I just wish I could have just kind of just stood still and just been truly with her, like mind with her. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys understand what I'm saying. But make sure you spend that quality time with them as much as possible, okay? Let's see. What's another thing that I would suggest? Oh, this is very important. As moms, actually I just got through saying that you need to spend that quality time with kids. But as moms, you have to realize that you can't always conquer the day, okay? So there's going to be days where you're going to have bad days, where you think, gosh, why did I do that? Or I could have handled that better, or whatever the case may be. Some days that you may not get an A for the day. Some days you may actually get a C, or maybe a D. But the thing about it is, you have to remember that you're a good mom. You strive to be a good mom, and you do the best for your children. And if you are that type of mom, then you're doing okay. It's okay to have those days where you feel like you're about to fall apart. You can't allow yourself to fall apart completely by, going through several days of doing that. But it's okay if you have a day where you're like, oh my gosh, and you might cry or something like that. That's fine. Trust me, I've had those days as well. So another thing that I would suggest for you to do, Mom, since we work so hard taking care of our family, is just to make sure that you spend that time to have either girl time or reading time or whatever the case may be. If you do not have that time to yourself, which a lot of people are like, well, I don't have time. I have 2 jobs. I have, my child is in daycare. I'm not getting along with my child's father, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I know all about that. But at the end of the day, if you did not have time to yourself, to take care of yourself, to fuel yourself, then you cannot, how are you going to give anything to somebody else if you don't give a little portion to yourself? If you don't have a little time to yourself to rebuild yourself so that you can contribute to your family, right? And that's very important. I hope that this has helped you guys. If you have any suggestions, if you thought that I needed to add some more, that's fine too. We can talk about that. If you have any questions, again, let me know. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.